morning. We welcome you, your family, and your friends to Unity Spiritual Center, where we honor the universal truths in all religions and respect each individual's right to choose a spiritual path. No matter who you are and where you might be on your path, you are always welcome here. My name is Jane McLean, and today we have Reverend Julie Montague as our guest speaker, and with us today is J.P. Falcon Grady for music. Let's take a deep breath in and then let it out. Let's say our 5 principles of unity. God is good and present in all things. The holiness of God is my own true nature. I am creating experiences by how I think. My thinking is guided by my daily affirmative prayers and affirmative actions. I follow and am sustained by these values in every way, every day. And today's daily word is kindness. I flow with divine love as I give and receive kindness. The word kindness triggers feelings of warmth, connection, and love in my heart. I smile as I recall ways that friends, family members, and others have shown me kindness. I feel again the gratitude and blessing I experienced in those moments. Gratitude, love, and a beautiful awareness of connection fill my heart and mind in a remarkably similar way when I receive kindness I've shared. The movement of electrons through a wire creates a current, a flow. As kindness moves from person to person, it creates a flow of divine love. Both giving and receiving are essential to this current of love. So I look for opportunities to share acts of kindness. I welcome with a grateful heart the kindness of others share with me. And from the Bible, the text for today is Micah chapter 6, verse 8. What does the Lord require of you but to do justice and to love kindness and walk humbly with your God? And I'd like to welcome Reverend Julie Montague.
Good morning. It's wonderful to be with you this morning, and we are so grateful that we can come together through this wonderful medium of the internet. You know, I want to talk about the idea of heaven and hell today, and I don't know how many preachers talk about that, but I'll tell you, it's very rare when it comes up in unity, because most unity folks don't really believe in a place called hell, and they're really quite connected to a place called heaven. So I guess that's all works out. You know, the Unity co-founders were Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, and they were amazing people. They had many, many miracles, many experiences of demonstrations of what they needed at a certain time in a certain place. And they did everything together, and yet at the same time they both had their own distinct talents and faith and ways of seeing things. So a little bit today, I'd just like to share a little of their ideas. Charles Fillmore was the intellect of it. He loved to write books. He loved to explore things. He loved to take things apart and figure out how they work. And especially that was with prayer. Effective prayer was what he was interested in. And so prayer and faith were right there in the top of his mind most all of the time. What he came out with, which was kind of the sort of astounding idea at the time when he wrote it, he said, everything is consciousness. Everything is consciousness. Every thought we have is an idea that is beginning to manifest into your life when you focus your attention on it. And so he was really, really strong in inviting people to create a vision for their life, create the kind of family they want to be in, create the perfect job or the perfect service into the world. Charles Fillmore would be creating things so fast that the people that worked at Silent Unity or Unity Village couldn't keep up with him. There's one story about Charles when they were building Unity Village in Missouri, Lee Summit, Missouri, and it was payday. Friday they paid everybody who was working on the buildings at the time. And he had been in his office all morning, and he had figured out how much money he needed to pay all the workers for the week. And then he got up out of his desk and walked down, and it was close to the end of the day, and he thanked all the workers and said they were doing a great job and all of that. And then he went back to his office, and he was thinking on the way back that he needed to manifest what at that time was a huge amount, like $450 to pay everybody. Remember, this is in Depression times in the 20s. And so he went up to his office, and there on the desk was a donation for the $420 that he needed exactly to pay all the workers. That was just kind of how everything worked for Charles. He created it in consciousness, knew that God was an unlimited supply and source, and was just manifesting exactly what he was creating in consciousness. One of the things I think that was wonderful about the two of them together was that Myrtle Fillmore was the heart of unity. Myrtle Fillmore had the compassion and the love and the ideas of knowing that love multiplies, that love is the attracting power, and that love will attract to you and I and everyone love into our lives. It also is true that every time we give love to something, whether it's a puppy or a child or a spouse or a parent or whatever it is, every time we give to a child, we find out that the love we give is equal to the love we receive. You cannot give love without receiving it. So between Charles and Myrtle, you have this beautiful balance of love straight from the heart, straight from the spirit, the unconditional love of God, and the intellect that is discovering and manifesting and creating right out of consciousness. One of the things that he said was that one of the hardest things to do in this new thought kind of movement is to remember that consciousness is always cause. So if there's something in your life right now that you wish wasn't in your life, there's something in your life maybe that you maybe are stretching to meet a bill or trying to create peace in the family or whatever is going on for you, consciousness is the cause. So if you go home today with a conviction to straighten out this misunderstanding, bring people back together in love and joy, and be willing to support each other, then we are using the power of consciousness as cause in our life. Now remember that consciousness creates. It doesn't choose for you what you should create. Sometimes people choose to think that maybe I want tickets to the Seahawks game. I'm going to try and create that. And the reality is that tickets to the Seahawks game is probably something I'd give away to my son, who would really enjoy it. And when that happens, everything starts to multiply. The more we give, the more we receive. We can't give something without getting the same amount of balance in our life back to us. Consciousness is cause. That was his favorite little saying. He used to say, Charles liked to say short little statements that you could affirm all day long. And one of them he used to say a lot was, what we hold in mind produces out of its kind, which I kind of struggled with it when I was a kid, but it kind of means that if we hold the idea of something we really want to have happen in our lives, and we hold it in our heart and give it love and see it expressing and feel how great it's going to feel when everything expresses into cause and into whatever it is we're trying to create. As that happens, we find out that we will have exactly what we need when we need it. You know, one time I was in a church in Michigan, and we had a guest speaker, a really exciting guest speaker we really wanted to hear, and he was driving up from Detroit. So when he got close to Port Huron, he got a little bit out of control of where he was going or how to find the church he was trying to get to, and he got a flat tire at the same time. And it was getting later and later, and you know, if you go to church and the speaker's not there and it doesn't seem like it's going to be a very good day, that we could create through consciousness what we needed. So I had a board president that believed absolutely that he could create from consciousness. And so he says, I'm going to jump in my car, I'm going to go find him. So he jumped in his car. He was back in 15 minutes, and his car had been towed away because he had a flat tire and he didn't have time to fix it at that point. And he was at church giving the talk at the same time he would have given it, even if the flat tire had never happened. It's amazing. It's like time just sort of folded for us, and we got everything happening right on time. There's a wonderful book that the Dalai Lama wrote about happiness, how to have happiness in your life. And one of the things he said, in fact, he says it right at the very beginning of the book, is, I believe that the very purpose of life is to seek happiness. Have you ever been in a place where you had this feeling of, how come that person can have all those wonderful things and I just can't seem to get them? Or how could that person get promoted and I didn't get promoted and I'm still stuck in the same old job? When we have those kinds of feelings that this won't work for us, or how come this person or that person or someone else gets all the goodies and I have to just kind of wait again for my turn to come out. When you seek happiness for yourself, then you have happiness to give out. When you fill your life with happiness, when you fill it with jokes and with laughter and with fun and with playing and all that good stuff that allows us to really, really spread the happiness around, we find that life changes for us. Life changes from, oh my gosh, what am I going to do to get this done and that done, and I'm so busy and I've got to do all these things, and the world looks like it needs to slow down to us very often. What happens when we don't understand and embrace this idea of using our consciousness, which is the consciousness of God. It's the consciousness of the Christ. It's opening our hearts and our minds to be filled with God's love. And it moves us into places where we can clearly see when we are creating something that is a vision of ours that is really helpful in our life. We also can see when we are creating jealousy and upset and anger. You know, this week we had a presidential election, and a lot of people were upset that their person didn't win and somebody else did win. And you know, the reality is that if you can stay happy and loving and joyous, it doesn't really matter who's president, because you're the one that creates your expression, your consciousness. So hell is that state of a being where you think somebody has stole from you or cheated from you or didn't count the votes right or whatever it is. And that thought system brings us down to a very low vibration where we think that it should be some other way. But let me tell you, when we together join in consciousness, and I know my 94-year-old mom says she has been praying every day for the last 30 days for her man to win. It's her wonderful contribution to seeing a president of the United States that is creating love and goodness and abundance and joy and clearing out the COVID-19 going on, moving that out of the United States and out of the world and out around the world, so that we once again have a pristine country with no dis-ease, with only love and joy and laughter. Each day this week, you can choose heaven or hell. It's always your choice. The first thing you do when you open your eyes in the morning, you can say, what kind of day am I going to have today? Am I going to have a day of love and fun and joy and being with friends and enjoying life? Or am I going to have a day of, it's not fair, I don't want it to be this way, I want it to be some other way? You experience peace of mind by choice, or you experience conflict by choice. Peace of mind is called heaven. Conflict is called hell, but you can use whatever name you want to use for it. But I suggest this week, every morning, you choose love, you choose heaven, you choose spreading peace of mind, joy, love, and happiness wherever you go. God bless you. Be a light on this planet. We love you and we bless you, and we know that you are powerful beyond measure. God bless.
Thank you, Julie, for being with us today. And I'm certainly going to choose heaven. Now we've reached the part in our service that we get to give to practice the abundance we are. And there are a few ways that you can give, and it will be posted at the end of our video. But you can either give online or you can mail a gift to the church. And I just want to thank all of you who give your gifts to the church. It really helps to keep our center open. So let's say our prosperity affirmation. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And let's welcome our musical guest, J.P. Falcon.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is J.P. Falcon Grady. I'm here to play you a song. This song I wrote, it was inspired by the handicapped, if you will, the mentally handicapped. When I was in high school, I got to go out and work during the summer at a camp up in their northwest here called Camp Horizon. And it was a 3-week camp. And each week they brought in young, mentally handicapped people, and then the next week they'd bring in middle-aged or teenagers to 20s, and then the final week would be the elders, the older folks. And they'd all get a week to hang out there at Camp Horizon and just be whatever they want to be. We do plays, we do music, we do songs and dance, and whatever we could do, share stories, tell stories. It was wonderful. And one thing that I always learned is that they would smile for anyone and everyone, and never ask. You didn't even have to tell a joke. You didn't have to conjure up that smile from them. You didn't have to get it out of them. They would just come up, and I remember that sometimes I'd stand there and I'd look over and and I'm like, smile back, and I go, and one of them said, "Why?" I'm like, "Well, here you go. We're handing things and sharing things and trading things." And one of them smiled and said, "I don't have anything," and just smiled. And I said, "Well, that's good." And he goes, "Yeah, well, it's free. I smile for everyone because it's free." And I'm like, "Oh." And it stuck for years. And then as I grew older and graduated and was working in hosting karaoke shows, I had friends that come in, and a friend of mine, Miguel, came in, and he was doing that all the time. And I noticed that he would smile, and it's always stuck with me. So thank you, Miguel, and thank you all those folks who inspired this song, "I'll Smile." Do 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 do. I'll smile for everyone. My love I give for free. High fives all around the world. I will prove what love can bring, and I will prove what love can bring. I have an open soul. I'm right where I wanna be. A true friend indeed. A friend to the end you'll see. I do this every day. Have faith and always pray for you to be. I'll smile for everyone. My love I give for free. High fives all around the world. I will prove what love can bring. I will prove what love can bring. I have a simple plan. Do the right thing every day, and I'll see it through. Sing a song as I go my way. I do this every day. Have faith and always pray for you to to be. I'll smile for everyone. My love I give for free. High fives all around the world. I will prove what love can bring. I will prove what love can bring. Now watch out. A complete compassion, as some never feel. To them it's so unreal. Open your heart and you will see my smile is free. Yes, sir. Come, a little down, 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 down. I'll smile for everyone. My love I give for free. High fives all around the world. I'll prove what love can bring. I will prove what love can bring. I will prove what love can bring.
And thank you so much for that, JP. That was beautiful. And we will finish. We are at the end of our service. So let's say our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. I am the light of God. I am the love of God. I am the power of God. I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. I am. And thank you for being with us, and have a blessed week ahead.